While he's saying there's a deal, the Iranians are saying, no, there's not. And I am very much more inclined to believe the Iranians. So he could say whatever he wants. I could say the sky is purple. Doesn't make it true. There is no deal with the Iranians. There's no deal. There is not going to be a deal because we are insane.
We are. But we're going to show you why we're insane. So everything was looking fairly decent because the primary motivator to making a deal is because Iran gave us a checkmate. The checkmate is economics. The Strait of Hormuz is an economic recession, if not an outright depression here in the United States. And no amount of bombing or assassinating various leaders, oh, they just attacked Iran again. Shocker. You can't win this. And what
it's already over.
Well,
it's
what the people in power that are controlled by Israel are now realizing is that no matter what you do, unless the terms are on Iran's favor, there is no deal. This isn't, well, we'll just show them. Okay, so here is what, according to friends of the show, Jeremy Scahill and Ryan Grimm over at Drop Site News, Trump demands, here's the demand after, and we're going to show you the reactions. I only could pick a couple that made sense, but from the reactions of the Zio-adjacent drifting class, Trump demands Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, Pakistan sign the Abraham Accords.
Demands.
As condition of Iran deal. You know what the Abraham Accords is? This is basically saying Israel gets to do what they want. That's what the deal is.
But here he demands. He demands that.
I'm demanding it. Believe me, I'm demanding.
What's so ridiculous about this, and of course none of our media is covering it, is we have no more bases in West Asia. We have nothing. There's nobody on bases there. It's all gone. Our detection equipment, our radar stuff, gone. So there's no infrastructure in West Asia to support what we think we're going to do or what these people are going to. There's no support infrastructure. There's no way. You don't even have airspace available. So I don't understand how it's sort of like people that it's like you can't lie about being pregnant for very long, right? Like it's one of those things that you're eventually we're going to know. We're going to know, and because there will eventually be a baby, right? So this is that, like, you can keep lying, or what?
Or
not, or a bomb. But the point is, you can only, something that's going to happen is going to happen. So he can keep saying we have a deal with Iran, but yet we're still going to see a major economic depression and major fuel problems because the Strait of Hormuz is still close to us. So he can keep
about this earlier. If you think you have problems paying for shit now, you have no idea how worse
it hasn't even hit.
It
hasn't hit yet.
Nope.
Right now, it's still speculative, and it's still like people betting and stock market bullshit, and everybody
you could not have picked a better time to go move into the countryside, like seriously.
Well, let me tell you something. We harvested our first cucumber. It was very exciting, but
President Trump posted on Truth Social Monday, of course, because why not do it on Memorial Day, demanding that all countries involved in Iran negotiations simultaneously sign the Abraham Accords, describing it as a prerequisite for any deal and warning those who refuse would be excluded from the agreement. It should be mandatory that all of these countries, at a minimum, simultaneously sign on to the Abraham Accords.
Mandatory.
Trump warned.
Like from the king of the world.
Excuse me, if they don't, they should not be a part of this deal, and that shows bad intention. Should start with the immediate signing by Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and everybody else should follow suit. He also dangled Iran's own potential membership, writing,
"Oh yeah,
if Iran signs its agreement with me, it would be an honor to have them also be part of this unparalleled world coalition."
You know what? I'm gonna do this, and I know I've been accused of things like cultural appropriation. I'm wearing, I like to wear my keffiyeh, whatever. I am gonna say this on behalf of the Iranians. Go get fucked. They don't want to be in your stupid fucking club. They find you repulsive. You are a savage, disgusting, repulsive person that leads a savage, disgusting, repulsive nation. They don't want to be in your club.
Eddie leads a
So I
savage.
will now, of course, get criticized for speaking on behalf of the Iranians, but that's just how I felt called to in that moment.
The Abraham Accords brokered during Trump's first term normalized relations between Israel and the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, and Kazakhstan. Trump's demand would require the mediating countries to recognize Israel and normalize relations as a condition of ending the Iran war.
You need to stop saying its name. I just refer to it as a genocidal entity, the genocide state.
Well, I do it hawking up my mucus as much as I can. A significant ask, given that Saudi Arabia has publicly conditioned any normalization on a credible and irreversible path to Palestinian statehood, a position shared in various forms by Turkey, Egypt, and others on the list. The demand comes as the U.S. has allowed Israel to continue the daily killing of Palestinians in Gaza for more than 7 months since the October 25th Trump brokered ceasefire, with over 900 Palestinians killed. Since the agreement was approved by Israel, the U.S. and Israel are also deliberately blocking minimum levels of food, medicine, shelter, fuel, and reconstruction
So
aid.
they say 900, I say 9,000.
At least. President Trump has also removed sanctions on the most violent Israeli settlers in the occupied West Bank, where rampant state-backed settler violence to uproot Palestinian families has gone unchecked since the start of his second term. Trump closed his social media post with a warning. It will only be a great deal for all, or no deal at all. See what I did there? Back to the battlefront and shooting, but bigger and stronger than ever before.
Back to the battlefield and the shooting. There is
Why
no
don't you go to the battlefield?
Well, there is no battlefield because we don't have a land game. All we can do is drop bombs. That's all we can do. There is no battlefield. There's no means for our people to go there.
No.
There's no means for us to get resources there. There's no battlefield. All we can do is just blow up a bunch of shit and kill a bunch of people, but we're not going to get anywhere with that.
Colin.
And by the way, every time we bomb them, they're going to go after an energy or a salination plant in one of those little territories that now you're trying to demand get on board with you. They're like minutes away from not being able to have water. And we're not going to be able to help them because we don't have any infrastructure there anymore. So why the fuck would any of those countries at this moment do anything against Iran?
So as Trump was attempting to make some type of a deal that didn't involve Israel having to get everything that it wanted, this is what we had to deal with on the Sunday morning show. So I'm going to show you what the shit libs have to say and what the neocons have to say. So here's Mr. Everybody Loves Me, Zioscum, Cory Booker.
Better than the deal Obama got with Iran?
So we haven't had an official briefing, but this is what I'm seeing that has me so outraged right now, is the president said he went into this to deal with their nuclear program. This does not deal with that. Before he became president the first time, they had no highly enriched uranium. They had sent it out. Now they have it because of him. Number two is...
Where are you getting your intel from, numbnuts? Just like making stuff up as you go? Good God.
Is he criticized roundly that the deal that got rid of their nuclear program, or at least their highly enriched program, involved getting $50 billion for Iran. Well, already the president's balance sheet is letting more than $14 billion go through, that during this conflict, he allowed them to sell oil.
Live over East Coast time,
alone,
baby.
Easing of sanctions on Iran, allowing them to get billions of more. The same deal he criticized, he's already doing worse than. Giving Iran more money, as he has said, will allow them to do things like fuel their terrorist proxies. That's why this war...
Excuse me? Excuse me?
The funny thing is that if Obama was... if I was president of the United States right now, you'd be on my side. You'd be listening to me, Cory. Because I did the same thing.
That's some... This motherfucker.
This is pathetic.
Oh my God. I'm
wrong. He's got us in a situation that's worse than it was before, a more extreme regime. The Strait of Hormuz now is a leveraging point for them. This weak nation has put America in a stalemate. and Donald Trump is being played as a fool.
No.
Yes, but you look so fucking brilliant, Corey. You look brilliant. You're sitting there like the fucking bitch of the white supremacist empire that you represent. That's what you look like. You look like their hoe. You're
And-
sitting there and referring to Iran as a terrorist regime. Really?
And this
Yeah.
is one of the reasons why when somebody says, who would you prefer to support for president in 2028, Thomas Massey or AOC? It's Thomas Massey, and there's nothing to think about. Either you stand for principle or you don't stand for anything. There is no being quiet about this.
Booker stands for his donors. That's who he
Of
stands
course.
for.
And the rest just stand for their career. So rather than actually support the president and say, Mr. President, what is it going to take for us to make a deal that doesn't involve us having to deal with Israel? Now, you see, they're not going to say that because they're concerned about their career, concerned about their friends, and who's going to lose their position. At this point, you are aiding and abetting the destruction of this country. You don't have the guts. But if you thought Cory Booker was bad, representing the neo-libs, if you will, the shit libs, if you will, here's the ultimate neocon and what
it won't be, Kenman. She'll never get that far. Not to worry.
Very simple. This regime needs to be defeated. And I'll leave it to the experts to figure out, but there are general things that need to be done. Number one, militarily, there's more that needs to be done. And we kind of stopped about 3/4 of the way through. Economically, that strait needs to be open, so they need to be choked. And there are choke points along there that could literally destroy the Iranian economy even more than it is now. But number three, my view again, is we need to arm the Iranians. To suggest that they rise up with their bare hands again, they've demonstrated they are courageous people, they are strong people. You know, I think about what took place in the founding of the State of Israel when the Israelis, the Jews, were attacked by the Arabs who would not accept the.
That's not what happened, Mark. You piece of shit. And now here's something that I find fascinating. Now here's something Mark and I agree on. I agree that the Iranians should be armed, Mark. I do. But the thing is, they're not going to use it against their own people.
Nope.
See, that's the thing. You just think that because you're a supremacist and very ignorant. But yeah, by all means, please arm the Iranians.
The partition. And there were a lot of arms, perhaps not enough, but a lot of arms that were secreted into the Jewish forces, the Israeli forces, to fight back. That's a good thing. I served in the Reagan administration when we armed the Mujahideen in the Northern Alliance in Afghanistan.
Did Reagan know about that, or was his brain already gone at that point when you guys were running upset the president wasn't aware of? Well, from what I can remember, it was certainly done without my knowledge, and it's still my responsibility.
Hey, somebody do a quick little, Googly and see how many grandchildren does Mark Levin have that are service age?
Oh, please, let's get them all in there.
How many of them he's signing up to go and serve? So,
he's got more to say.
The Contras in Nicaragua and so forth. That was a big part of the Reagan doctrine.
He's admitting that he's a war criminal when he says this. Does he not understand that?
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares anymore about war crimes. That's so last century.
He just admitted that he was part of the Reagan administration backing the Contras in Nicaragua, that he was facilitating that. So
I need to ask my dad if he took this guy's deposition. My dad took a whole bunch of depos back in Miami in the day about the Contras. We knew some shit. But this guy.
I honestly, I didn't actually know that about Levin. I didn't know that he was involved with that shit, but now I do. Like, oh yeah, totally. I totally committed war crimes. War crimes don't have an expiration date, last I checked. I mean, he could still be prosecuted for that. All right, shit.
You know what though? In the realm of current war crimes, he needs to go to the back of the line. Okay.
But he's such a bitch.
Yeah, he is a bitch.
where we didn't have to put our troops on the ground, but they're people who want to be liberated and free. And in Iran, they've made it clear multiple times. Those people have put their lives on the line. You got 92 million people. There are about 80 million who feel like they're in a concentration camp with the lights out, the communications killed, and people being executed at record rates. And my view is, why would we not?
Oh, he's talking about Iran. We got to.
I thought he was talking about Ziohelp.
Help them help themselves as part of a overall comprehensive battle plan. So that's what I've been arguing about here in the United States.
You're an idiot. You're such a fucking tool, Mark.
And yet, for whatever reason, when somebody is seeking when the president is seeking counsel, he's going to Mark Levin, which
all
really
right, and I see what you're saying. I hear you, and I understand exactly what you speak, and that is what we're dealing with. Yes, indeed. People really feel a lot of compensation. Like a lot of compensation is required for these people. It's unfortunate.
But that's when you have to ask yourself, okay, how much more obvious can it be that the president of the United States is seeking counsel from this bastard?
Okay. Well, he listens to Laura Loomer.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to play the clip, but we're going to get to Massey in a minute. So there was a clip from the press briefing that I guess happened, I think, on Friday.
Yeah.
And Loomer is right there in the foreground of the shot in the press corps. And I'm thinking, this is like a clown show. Like, this can't be real anymore. She's just sitting there with her, looking like that with her lips pierced.
Well, no, she doesn't. She looks like that guy from that movie. It's scary. And I don't even know that movie other than what people have shown me.
Kenman, there's a much more important question to be asking here. Not that I'm not a slut shamer under it. You could screw as many people as you want, but I think the more important question about Laura Loomer is, who hasn't she slept with that's in a position of power in the Trump administration?